Okay guys, I want you to know that we're going to be using theorem 314 and 315, and the chart that we used to name all of our polygons and the sum of all their angles, we're going to be using those. So theorem 314, 315, and polygon chart. You're going to need those things, those theorems and this chart in order to do this particular assignment. All right. First of all, let's talk about how do you name a polygon. When you name a polygon, you start with one vertex and you follow the perimeter of the polygon. So start at a vertex and follow the perimeter. So if I'm going to name this polygon, I'm going to start at A, and I'm going to go to my next letter, B, C, D, E, and it brings me back to A, so I don't need to repeat it. This is the name of the polygon, A, B, C, D, E. It also says identify the vertices, the sides, and the angles. Okay, vertices are the points. And so this is a point. This is also a vertex, so point A. This is a point. It's also a vertex, point B. This is a point. It's a vertex, point C. We have point D. And we have point E. Those are the vertices. One point is called a vertex. More than one together, they're vertices. Okay, sides. The sides of a polygon are always segments. So I'm going to start here and name this side. This is side AB. We have side BC, side CD, side DE, and side EA. And I just named the sides of my shape. And the last thing is naming the angles. The angles are named similar to the vertices, but now we're naming the whole angle. So we have angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, and angle E. And that's how you name the parts of a polygon. Okay, little side note. If you look on the side of your chart, this, by the way, is called a convex pentagon because it has 5 sides. And if I wanted to know one interior angle, I would look on my chart and find it's 540 degrees are all the angles, and I would divide it by the 5 sides. And so 540 divided by 5 is 108 degrees. If I wanted one exterior angle, I would take 360 degrees, which is the sum of all the exterior angles, and divide it by 5, and I would get 72 degrees. This only works with a regular polygon, and a regular polygon means all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal, which is this shape ABCDE. Okay, we're going to continue with this, and it says classify the polygon below under example 2 by its sides. In order to classify by its sides, you need to count them. So we're going to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This has 12 sides. And if you look on your chart, a 12-sided shape is called a dodecagon. Dodecagon. So we classified it by its sides. Next, it says identify as convex or concave because these vertices are caving in to the middle, towards the middle of the shape. This is called a concave polygon. This is a concave dodecagon. All right, now we're going to clear my ink, scroll to the next examples. Example 3 says, find the sum of the measures of the angles of a decagon. Now, it didn't say the inside or the outside, the interior or exterior, so if it doesn't say, you assume they mean interior angles. The word decagon means 10 sides. Now, the easiest thing to do is to use your chart. And just look up decagon or 10 sides, and it should tell you the sum of all the measures. If you don't use your chart, you can use the formula, which is n minus 2 times 180. N is equal to the number of sides. So 10 minus 2 times 180. 10 minus 2 is 8 times 180, and 8 times 180, I believe, is 1,440 degrees, which would be the sum of all of these angles. Okay, example 4. Find the measure of angle x on this quadrilateral. Before we do, let's take a look at what we see in the quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, and I look up, I know that a 4-sided shape, I look in the chart, has to have a measure of 360 degrees for the sum of all of its angles. So I'm going to take all these angles and add them up. Now, I know angle W is 100 degrees. I know angle Z is 90 degrees. What I don't know is angle Y and angle X. I don't know them, there's no marks. But I do notice that angle X and angle Y have the same markings. They have the same tick marks, which means they're equal. So because they're equal, I'm going to give them both a value of x. Now I can add all 4 of these angles, x plus 90 plus 100, and all 4 angles have to equal 360 degrees. Okay, now I have an equation to solve. Combine your like terms. Use the subtraction property of equality to subtract 190 from both sides of the equal sign. And then the division property of equality to divide both sides by 2 to get x is equal to 85. Now I solved for x, but you have to make sure you answer the question. They want you to find the measure of angle x. So I say the measure of angle x is equal to 85. And I'm done with the problem. All right, last examples I want to show you are in the back of your note packet. It says find the measure of each angle of the quadrilateral ABCD. So I don't have room for number 1, so I'm going to put number 1 right here. And they want me to find angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. So in order to do this, I'm looking at angle A right here. Angle A consists of 2 angles, so you have to use the angle addition postulate and add them up. So 32 plus 45 is equal to 77 degrees. So angle A is 77. Angle B is given to me at 65 degrees. Angle C, this also is angle addition postulate, so it's 61 plus 70, which is 131 degrees. And lastly, angle D is given to me to be 87 degrees. And I'm done with the problem. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with number 2. I need to find A, B, C, and D. Okay, now the problem with number 2 is different from number 1 in that you don't see any numbers. This is a problem, but you need to look at the triangle. And if I look at this one triangle, I notice something very unique about this triangle. All these angles have the same tick marks, same arc marks. That means every angle is the same measure. And if I take 180 degrees and divide it by 3 equal angles, 180 divided by 3 is 60. So these angles are all 60 degrees, which is true for the other one. These angles are all 60 degrees. And now I actually have numerical values to help me find my answers. Angle A is two angles. It's 60 plus 60. So angle A is 120 degrees. B is given to us as 60. C is two angles. It's also 60 plus 60, which is 120 degrees. And D is given to us as 60. And we have our answers for number 2. Last one is number 3. A, B, C, and D. Okay. We're going to start with the ones I know I can find. I can find B and I can find D by using the angle addition postulate. So let's start with B. It's 55 plus 30, which I know is 85. And D is 55 plus 25, which I know is 80. But what are you supposed to do with A and C? Well, don't forget what we learned in section 3.4, that all the angles of a triangle add up to equal 180. So I know angle A plus 55 plus 55 have to equal 180 degrees. Angle A plus 110 equals 180. Subtracting 110. Angle A equals 70. So it's 70 degrees. We're going to do the same thing to find angle C. I have this smaller triangle. I know 25 plus 30 plus angle C must equal 180. 55 plus angle C equals 180. Subtracting 55. Angle C is equal to 125 degrees. And you're done with your problem. The homework for this section is found on page 161. I encourage you to read over the examples. In the textbook, and then do numbers 8 through 12, 16 through 24, the evens, number 33, 40, 47, 71, and 72, a total of 15 problems. All right, you have a great and glorious evening. Bye now.